Hello and welcome back everybody to another FTB Inventions. Now before we even get started, I got a lot to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 blaze rods. We are out of tin. We are out of copper. We are out of a couple of different ingots. And we should probably replenish some of them. And this is part of the reason why I want the quarry up and running. What happened to all the tin? Tin? 10, 10, 10. Okay, weird. We have 10. All right. Anyways, that's part of the reasons why I want to get that quarry up and running, so that we run into things like that. But anyways, 1 tin plate is going to equal 3 empty cells. We are back here and doing things already. Unbelievable, I know, right? And this guy is going into this metal former right here. There's a couple of recipes that are going to be auto crafted manually or by other things. So let's go over and see what I've done so far. So I've set up the fluid solid canning machine to make overclocker upgrades. Up here I've set up the lapis lazuli to go into here to make lapis lazuli dust. So that's where our lapis lazuli dust is. Obviously we haven't addressed completely the rubber, but so far so good. Anyways, so we got that, and the lapis is going into the fluid canning machine, and so are empty cells. Now it's saying that, oh, that's not going to work. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Okay, we might have to change this up. I might need to pipe out the coolant. Pipe out the coolant. Yeah, we might have to change that up. Okay, we'll handle that in a second. But anyways, I want this to make coolant cells, so you'll be crafting up coolant cells automatically. But I guess we're going to have to make the coolant first. That's so weird that it won't go. And then pipe it out into another fluid canning machine and then fill from tank, which is fine. We can do another one right above here. I think we can make it work. Maybe not. Might have to be beside, might have to be over here. Anyways, so that's what I started doing, and this guy should be set to craft any empty cells or anything that it needs as well. So it's going to auto craft those empty cells, that recipe that I just put in, to fill this up. Alright, now over here we have that empty cell recipe going into a metal former with an extruder, and I did not put an injector upgrade into it. Of course. There we go. There we go, and that'll eject it back into the ME interface. Good. And that should then end up over here. Excellent. And it's firing another one over. Beautiful. That's what I like to see. So that guy is going to auto craft until it's basically full and it can't do any more. So that's good. This guy's doing the tin. We got the gold. We got the copper cabling going. I made a little bronze one here. So we got bronze plates going in here, as well as bronze up here going in as item casings. We don't need too many of these, because they're basically only used for metal formers and a few other things. But I figured, you know what, let's set up a little crafting station type thing. And the same thing with the copper here, so we're good to go there. And this guy is set to rolling mode, so this is going to be all of our other rolling stuff that we may need. So we'll just set this up accordingly as we go along. But so far so good. The industrial craft stuff is coming along in the whole process of things here. Now, we do need to get into Tech Reborn, but apparently I need to figure out this guy first. We need to get this going. So we need some tin item casings for 7, a basic machine, and an electronic circuit. All right. Circuit, get. I'm not going to auto-craft this one because, well, we're only going to be crafting it probably one more time. Item casings, tin, we need 2 more. Go. Alright, fluid / solid. So this guy should almost be done. I'm just waiting for the machine. There's going to be a little delay. I want to set up these overclockers ASAP. so that we can get them done. There we go. Perfect. So the problem that we have here was the fluid. So what I'm thinking we need to do, and that's fine, we can actually move this over, and it might work out for the better, actually, because we'll need less of these trims, and we can just kind of get things going a little bit better off. So that guy's going to go there for our coolant cell. So this then is not going to have the crafting card or the empty cell in it. Those are coming with me, and beside it is where we're going to have additional stuff. So we can take out the ejector because we don't need that in there. Instead, what we can do is we can set this guy up right beside it. Good. We're going to need a transformer so that we don't blow it up. Not a straw, a transformer. Thank you. And this guy's going to be fill cell from tank. So we need to fill this tank with coolant fluid. Now there's another ejector upgrade, and it is the fluid ejector. So I want to make this guy here. So we need 2 coals, 2 coils, and 2 tin item casings. Tin item. Good. Excellent. Alright. And this is going to give us the ejector upgrade here. Okay. Iron. Because remember, it doesn't do the thing. And let's get our item casings. Good. There's our electric motor. That's probably one that we should learn to autocraft. But we'll deal with that in a minute. Okay. So that is going to output to that side. West side. Good. And that should be filling it up with coolant. Good. So the coolant is going to auto-process on this one by filling it up with the lapis lazuli, and then the coolant's going to end up in here. Oh no, no, we messed that up, didn't we? We messed it up. There does need to be a space here, doesn't there? Yes, there does. Okay, so that's fine. It's not a big deal. Now the problem that we do have though is we need to get the fluid from here automatically over to there. Output to the top side. Okay, good. Let's get our ender fluid conduits. By the way, if you place down a insulated copper cable next to an ender fluid conduit, you'll probably get an error. I got a few, just letting you know. Okay, we got the transformer upgrade, so we can actually run that across. So we have power. We're good there. Let's get some more smart cable. And let's get another export bus. Good. And we have the crafting card, so we're good to go there. Alright, so we need to get now some of that over here. Alright. It's not really a good way, is there? Not really. Not really. So we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way. Go like this. Like this and like this. Why does that connect? That scares me. Anyways. Okay, and then over and up. Like I said, a little bit of a roundabout way, but it does the job. Okay, that will be like that. This is going to have the crafting card in it for cells, and that should be the one crafting up the cells. And then we auto eject as well. So this does require the 2 machines, but it should work out pretty decently. This guy's going to be extract always active, and this one's going to be an insert. So it should pull out the coolant as soon as there's a need and fill it back up. So what we should start to get is a whole bunch of coolant cells, which allows us to then make overclockers, which I've already set up accordingly. Voila. It's going to craft 2 10K coolant cells, and boom, some overclockers have been crafted. Not too bad at all. Not too shabby. And then we can, of course, buff some of our metal formers and all that kind of stuff with the overclockers. We don't need to do the cables, I don't think. Maybe the copper one, but I don't think we'll ever go through them fast enough. These ones, though, for the processing, I definitely want some overclockers for. So we will definitely be getting some of those. So this guy, we will do 3 and 1 more here. Good. For the general processing. Those need to be quick. I don't want to deal with non-quick related stuff. But yeah, so that is functioning accordingly, and we are good to go on that front then. So we've kind of sort of automated sort of the overclockers. I did want them to be, you know, something that you still had to do, so we'll leave it at that. What's next? What else do we need? Oh yes, I needed more lapis lazuli. We are pretty much plumb out of the old lapis. It's very expensive for what it is, especially. But that should help us get a little bit more lapis lazuli dust for this system as well, so that we don't really run out. And it should only hold a little bit, so we should be okay. We should be okay. All right, so that's great. Now, I'm running out of room already, as in case you couldn't tell. We are starting to already run out of room, and I need to get some of these Tech Reborn ones down. So first things first, the industrial centrifuge and the rolling machine and the industrial grinder. The industrial grinder we already have the stuff for right there, the machine casings. The industrial blast furnace. Industrial blast furnace is something that we need to make next. Now, we already got the copper nickel. Again, guys, I hate to break it to you. I really do not care how things are said. I do my best to say things the way that I say them, and that's the way it is. So, yeah, if you have a problem with that, it is what it is, and probably should learn to ignore it, because people say things weird their entire lives. Just saying. All right, so the industrial blast furnace, we need a whole nother setup for, and it's a multi-block structure as well. So we need to get a little bit of work done, and I do want to set them up as auto crafting as well while we're on it. By the way, I am still recovering. I'm doing my best to recover. I actually sound pretty good right now, if I do say so myself. So I'm very happy about that. Give me one of those. Nope. Yeah, you. Okay, good. That'll be that. We are going to need a compressor, aren't we? And we're going to need steel plates, too. This guy, we can get a circuit or two. Let's get a couple of circuits. That should work quite nicely. And then we want to get the advanced circuits auto-crafted up as well. Redstone and glowstone. Redstone. Good. Lapis. Like that. And glowstone. There and there. Okay. There's our advanced circuits set up. Good. That's a great step as well. I think the next part is I need to get that compressor up and running. So I'm going to get the parts that we need for the compressor, which we already have, and I'm going to set it up. Alright, so we got the compressor set up over here. To a certain extent, we haven't set up all of the stuff involved with it. So in the industrial blast furnace, in case you didn't realize, we require a couple of IC2 type materials for the advanced machine casings. We need an advanced alloy and a carbon plate. So the carbon plate's the easy one for us because of some of the stuff that we already have. The advanced alloy is something we do not have yet, but we can easily set that up as well. So both of these are going to require a crafting card. So let's get that first. I think I ran out of those as well. What? Am I out of gold? Oh man, out of resources. This is why I want the quarry, guys. This is why I want the quarry, guys and gals. Okay. Alright, we need some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good enough. Good. And sure. Throw them on the ground. Smart. Okay, good. Let's get some gold. Oh man, running out of all the things. Okay, so there's some gold. So we need a card of the basic, and we need to get ourselves another crafting card here. I should actually automate that one as well, and I think I will right now. By the way, if you can hear the lawn mower, they're mowing. Simple as that. Can't really explain it any better than that. They are mowing. It's loud. And they're probably having a hard time because we've gotten a ton of rain lately over here. And there is a ton of grass. Okay, industrial blast. So we need the advanced machine casing, which is the advanced alloy, which is the mixed metal ingots. Surprise, surprise, we've already got all of these auto-crafted and ready to go. I'm going to craft one up as well while we're here, and this guy is going to basically just go in our standard system. So we are crafting the mixed metal ingots. Pretty straightforward, right? And then for the carbon plate itself, we need raw carbon mesh, which is raw carbon fiber. Boom. Done. Okay. And those guys, like that, gives us the raw carbon mesh. And we're going to need one of those as well, just for future reference. All right, so these two items combined are going to provide us with the stuff that we require for our compressors. And by using those crafting cards accordingly, it's going to allow us to set everything up properly. So we have a crafting card already in here, so that is going to work to always craft mixed metal ingots, which is then going to get compressed. Okay, we're going to need a crafting card in here to make the raw carbon mesh to go into there, and that's going to give us our advanced alloys. And this is going to give us our carbon plate. Sweet. So we basically have those on continual, never-ending work. Now, the thing is you're probably going, you're going to run out of coal dust. Well, no. I have coal dust automated over here. If you guys remember, we did that. So that's going to work well. And we just automated the 3 plates that we require as well. So it's working pretty good. I do say so myself. Let's get a few more overclockers here, and I want to just kind of fiddle around a little bit. I'd like a few more in here. Copper I'm not too concerned about. Let's see, we got 3 in there, we got 3 in there. We're pretty much running out of power, though, with these overclockers in here. And that's not good. So let me figure out that situation. Alright, so I just set up a quick kind of manual crafting recipe for refined iron plates as well. So that's going to give us a recipe for our advanced machine frame and handle that request, which is great. It's a good little start, and at least we can get that going a little bit more. The other one that we need is the induction furnace. This one's down below, and for that we're going to actually need one of those machine casings of the advanced level. So let's get that. These are actually very good furnaces as well. They are quite speedy. So if you do require a pretty good or pretty fast one. Now, we may change that up a little bit. We'll see how it goes with the old, setup that we got so far. I'm not too sold on it. Because of the fact that it's going to take a little bit to make those steel plates. Now, we could also just, I think we're going to actually upgrade the power input to all of those machines so that we can actually upgrade them more. And it might not be a problem. I think about 11 upgrades, it's almost instantaneous. So that's kind of what we're hoping for here. All right, there we go. We got some more copper. Good, so that'll go around, and that's going to give us our induction furnace. Now that should all be fully automatable. Did I do the electric furnace? I don't think I did. No, I didn't. Why didn't I do the electric furnace? I guess because I was only going to be making a couple. Anyways, let's do it up now. So we need circuit, 2 redstone. All right, circuit. I should honestly just craft like 100 of these. Yeah, we're a little short on that. Let's do 10. That'll work. Okay, we got a circuit. We got a machine block. No, we don't have a machine block. We have an iron furnace, don't we? And I bet you we don't have iron furnace in here either. Okay, let me finish this up and get things going. Alright, so we should be able to make 2 induction furnace, just like that. It should just auto-craft them up. Again, we're probably waiting on those steel plates. And then from there, we can actually make our industrial blast furnace. Understandably so. What are we missing? Advanced machine casing. Did we not make one of those? Machine. Oh, we used it. We used it, that's why. Alright, so we got to make up another one of those as well. And waiting on the steel again. But we're pretty much there to get our advanced blast furnace. Come on now. Ain't got no all day. I think we need to upgrade our power. I think we need to go to HV, which means about 13 transformers. Not a huge issue overall. I am going to set this up to autocraft, but we did just craft it. I don't know if I'll need more than one ever, but you know what? Better be safe than sorry. We have more than enough room here. Actually, that's a terrible spot for that. That is a terrible spot for that. Okay. I try to mix it all up and spread it out a little bit. So we got our blast furnace. We got our rolling machine. We got our centrifuge. We got our grinder. We have a decent amount of stuff, but the blast furnace is going to allow us to cook up the titanium that we require for the quarry. So let's see. I think, yeah, I want to upgrade the power though first because our power is going to be a major issue going forward. So I think all I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out that MV to HV, and then we're going to also upgrade to the gold insulated cables instead of the copper. And yeah, EU HV. Let's see, consumer. Gold plates, MV transformer. Okay, I think we can do this. I think we can do this very well. Anyways, I'll be back once that's done. Alright, so there's our EU HV consumer. Very good. Why can't we make one? Okay, anyways, we will just... Oh, that's why. I have them all in my inventory instead of where they need to be. Okay, so we should be able to make the EU HV now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. We can make that. It's all available. Done. And then I also want to set up the autocraft again for the provider, because you never know when you're going to need one or the other, and we can always convert back and forth and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's a good idea to always have a couple of each. So now we have the gold cables and stuff. I need to swap out everything that we've done over here to the upgraded cabling. One other quick note, I have added the additional transformer to each of these, so that will be the next tier up. The way that you can double check that is there's 128 goes to 512, 512 goes to 2048, and then you get up to the 8192. All right, and the tin does 32. So that's probably the best way to, you know, check yourself type thing, if that makes sense. But I'm going to kill all of this so that we can get new power ran. Alright, so we're hooking up the first cable here. Boom, just like that. Nothing's exploding. That is a great sign. I'm pretty sure they do explode in this, by the way. Some of the other packs, they may not, but this one I'm pretty sure explodes. Just off the top of my head, I think it does. I think Tech Reborn kind of fixes that, which it should have been in the first place, right? So, other than that, I still got a bit more cabling and stuff to clean up here. But once this is all said and done, we should be looking pretty darn solid, hopefully, with our power transfer of our industrial craft stuff. Alright, so all of the upgrades have been solved and fixed up over here. So we've upgraded completely to the new power size, which is great, into the HV. So we're using quite a bit more power overall as well. And speaking of which, I should probably go double check on my power supply as well. So let's head on right on over to intersection B and see exactly what we're dealing with. I should probably make these a little bit cleaner, almost straight across type thing, but yeah. It looks like we're not really running into any problems. Yeah, barely tapping into the system. Okay, that's great. So I'm going to get the stuff that I need to get this blast furnace up and running. Alright, so we're coming up to the final little bit of this episode, and I want to get this done before we get too, carried away with time. So, with the standard machine casing and 2 lava source blocks, I believe we get about 15 or 1,520,000, or what is that? 1520k heat. If we used reinforced machine casings, we get 2200k heat. If we used advanced machine casings, we get 2880k. Now, the titanium only requires 1500. But I'm thinking, you know what, there's probably more advanced stuff that we're going to need. So let's go with the reinforced. And we can actually do these somewhat decently now that we have some of the other stuff set up and ready to go. So we can actually get these guys auto-crafted. How sweet is that? And we can probably even get these guys auto-crafted as well in case we need them in the future. So we can do the basic and the reinforced. Good. Now, we need a pretty good column of these things, of these guys. So, let's, without further ado, I think, let's see, we need a 3x3x4. So, it's a blast furnace size, right? Oh, God, what is that? 9, 9, 8, and 8. So, that's 18 plus 16. Oh, boy, that's what, 24, 34 of them? Is that about right? So, 34 reinforced. I think that's about right. So, rip resources, but we don't have enough lapis. There's always something, guys and gals. There's always something, and this is one of those ones on why we need the other setup. It's fine. No big deal. We'll get you your lapis. We'll get you your lapis. There we go. There we go. All right, reinforced for 34. If we make too many, it is what it is. I think it makes 36 anyways, so rip. Okay, good. We got it. All right, let's go. Let's get a little bit more of the lapis. I really need to get blocks in here. I keep meaning to do it, but I keep not doing it, if you know what I mean. Just so that we can actually pull out quicker out of the system. So, anyways, that's a different story altogether. Let's get all the lapis. All the lapis. Yes. There we go. All the lapis. All right. Now we need to set this guy up. Now, if I recall correctly, if we look up titanium, to make titanium, we could do it in an arc furnace, which we're not doing. We're doing the blast furnace type setup here. And that's going to require 432 EU with 3,600 ticks to process, or 180 seconds, and requires 1,500 heat. Alright, so we need to get this guy set up properly. Alright, so I'm over here and I'm making my setup accordingly. Now, let's just remove this guy actually, and we'll do that. Now we need our 2 buckets of lava in there, so 1 and 2, just like so. That'll work nicely. I did build it into the wall a little bit. I don't know if that's a good setup or not. But let's place down our industrial blast furnace. And yes, I did intend for this to be in the floor. I think that looks the best out of all of it. It sadly does kind of block these a little bit, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but it will do the job. So the current heat of 2312 or whatever it may be, but now we need to get it some power, obviously. Now, this machine highly recommends to only have 128 power input to the system. So what we need to do is we need to get our HV cable from over here, which is actually 512, as you can see, and we need to convert that down to the MV, which is the copper cable. Pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy there, but I wanted to at least show it on the camera. So we have the HV going into the big prong out, and that guy going in to the top. Perfect. So this should be fully operational now, and let's actually just get some of our some of our titanium and see if it works. So, boom, putting it in there. And it should be starting to work, right? Right? Please? Please say yes. There we go. It is ticking along. It is going to take about 180 seconds for this to finish, but that's going to give us our first piece of titanium. And just as a quick reference, here is the quarry that we require. For the most part, it's easy, except for the drill, which we require titanium for. So I do need to get those 2 pieces of titanium, which we should have. And yeah, I don't know what... Can we overclock this? Ooh, that could be fun. Maybe we can even transformer it. I'll have to check with Modmuse just to confirm. But anyways, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you all so much. I really do appreciate everyone being here. And have yourselves a fantastic day. Bye-bye.